Fairfield Electrical Cooperative is a trusted provider of electricity service in the Fairfield area, known for its commitment to reliability, safety, and community engagements. With a rich history dating back several decades, Fairfield Electrical Cooperative has established itself as a cornerstone of the local community, serving both residential and commercial customers with dedication and integrity. And one of the key insights about Fairfield Electrical Cooperative it is its focus on customer satisfactions and community involvement. The cooperative prioritizes the needs of informers, striving to deliver high-quality electricity service that meet their expectations and enhance their quality of life, whether it's responding probably to service requests, offering competitive rates, or providing educational resources on energy efficiency. Fairfield Electrical Cooperative goes about and beyond to ensure customer satisfactions. Moreover, Fairfield Electrical Cooperative understands the importance of giving back to the community it serves. Through various outreach programs, sponsorships, and partnerships with local organizations, the cooperative actively contributes to the betterment of Fairfield and its surrounding areas. From supporting youth initiatives to promoting environmental stewardship, Fairfield Electrical Cooperative demonstrates its commitment to being a responsible cooperative citizens. And another network insight about Fairfield Electrical Cooperative, it is a dedication to innovation and technology advancement. As the energy landscape involves the cooperative and continuously seek out new corporate opportunities to improve its infrastructures, increase efficiency, and cooperative renewable energy resources by staying at forefront of industry trends, embracing innovation, and Fairfield Electrical Cooperative position itself for long-term success and sustainability. In summary, Fairfield Electrical Cooperative stands out as reliable community-focused electricity provider that prioritizes customer satisfaction, community engagements, and innovations with a strong values, experienced team, and forward-thinking approach. Fairfield Electrical Cooperative remains a trusted partner for residents and businesses alike in the Fairfield area.
Good morning. Is this Fairfield Electrical Cooperative?
Yes, it is Fairfield Electrical Cooperative.
I'm glad we could meet today to discuss the electrical work for our new building project.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to hear more about your project and how we can assist you with electrical aspects.
Well, we have some specific requirements for the electrical system in the building. We need it to be energy efficient and compliant with all safety regulation. Can you ensure that?
Absolutely. We prioritize safety and efficiency in all our projects. We'll design and install the electrical system to meet or exceed all relevant codes and standards.
That's reassuring to hear. We also want to incorporate some smart technologies for lighting and HVAC control. Can your team handle that?
Yes, we have experience with smart technologies and can integrate them seamlessly into electrical system. Smart lighting and HVAC controls can enhance energy efficiency and convenience for building occupants.
Great. Another concern we have is minimizing disruption to our construction timeline. Can you provide a clear schedule for the electrical work?
Of course, we'll work closely with your construction team to coordinate our schedule and ensure minimal disruption. Our goal is to complete the electrical work on time and within budget.
That's important to us. Lastly, can you provide a detailed cost estimate for the electrical work?
Certainly, we'll provide a comprehensive cost estimate that outlines all the expenses associated with the electrical work, including materials, labor, and any additional service required. We believe in transparency and accuracy when it comes to pricing.
For addressing all our concerns. It sounds like you're the right team for the job. When can we expect to receive the cost estimate and start the work?
We'll have the cost estimate prepared for you by the end of the week, and we can begin work as soon as you give us the green light. We're excited to be part of your project and deliver exceptional results.
Excellent. We look forward to reviewing the estimate and moving forward with the project. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you as well. We're eager to get started and exceed your expectations. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any further questions and concerns.
After a successful online meeting of Fairfield Electrical Cooperative and its personnel, and led by Mr. Gula, the project manager for this project was able to determine and estimate the needed days for each activity. And all the materials and workforce involved for the electrical installation of Mr. Arroyo's commercial building have been prepared. To comprehend the critical path method used in this sort of project for us to know what it is, how it designed, who among the staff make this technique, and why it is vital. What is critical path method? A critical path method, or CPM, is a systematic approach to scheduling that happen concurrently and prioritize them in order their impact to the schedule. This process is used to find the critical path. What is critical path diagram? Critical path diagram is a visual planning tool that shows all of the construction operation that must be completed to finish the project. The diagram considers the duration of each activity, the preceding activity, or how one activity is connected to another, and the lag. The diagram enables for the visual breakdown of a project into tasks, which are commonly portrayed in boxes. How do you identify a critical path? Using the critical path method to map out each project activity, predecessor, and lag, project managers may compute the entire project duration. The CPM is then used to determine the important activities or the critical path required to execute the proposed project. Critical path diagram also includes non-critical tasks. Now that we've learned about the principle of critical path method, we can begin creating the network diagram. But first, we need to create the project activity schedule. And here is the example of project activity schedule that we will be used. And here are the following procedures that should be followed in performing critical path method networking. First, construct a project network. Second, perform forward and backward passes. Third, determine the project completion time. Fourth, calculate slacks values. And last, state the critical path. After creating project activity schedule and knowing the following procedures and creating critical path method networking, we will use this convention node that states where A is what activity is being described, and T is for the estimated activity duration, ES is the earliest time can start, EF is the earliest finish time, LS is the latest start time, and LF is the latest finish time without exceeding the project's time complexity. Now that we've done a project activity schedule and convention node, we can start by sketching the critical path method networking for us to clearly visualize the project network diagram for the next procedure. So, let's begin. Since activity A has no successor, it can begin at start. For activity B and C, it's activity A to be completed before it starts. For activity D and E, it needs activity B to be completed before it starts. For activity F, it needs activity C to be completed before it starts. For activity G, it needs both activity D and E to be completed before it starts. For activity H, needs activity E and F to be completed before it starts. And for activity I, it needs activity G and H to be completed before it starts. Since activity I has no successor, it can be finished. So we are now done outlining for project network diagram. Here are the network of activity nodes showing letter and time. Now we can proceed with the forward pass. Since activity A has no predecessor, the earliest time it can start will be 0. And for the earliest finish of activity A, we will be using this formula states earliest finish equals earliest start plus time or the duration. So 0 plus 5 equals 5. For activity B, since activity B needs activity A to be finished in order to start, and the earliest finish of activity A is 5, then the earliest time activity B can start will be 5, and the earliest finish of activity B will be 5 plus 10 equals 15. For activity C, needs activity A to be completed before it starts, and the earliest time activity A finish will be 5. Then the earliest time activity C can start will be 5. And the earliest finish of activity C will be 5 plus 13 equals 18. For activity D, needs activity B to be completed before it starts, and the earliest finish of activity B is 15. Then the earliest time activity D can start will be 15. And the earliest finish of activity D will be 15 plus 7 equals 22. For activity E, since activity E needs activity B to be completed before it starts, and the earliest finish of activity B is 15, then the earliest time activity E can start will be 15. And the earliest finish of activity E will be 15 plus 3 equals 18. For activity F, since activity F needs activity C to be completed in order to start, and the earliest finish of activity C is 18, then the earliest start activity F can begin will be 18. And the earliest finish of activity F will be 18 plus 9 equals 27. For activity G, since activity G needs both activity D and E to be completed before it starts, and the earliest finish of activity D and E are 22 and 18 respectively, and activity G needs both activity D and E to be completed in order for them to start, and the earliest time activity G can start will be 22. In other words, the highest of the earliest finish time preceding activity. So the earliest time activity G can start will be 22. So activity G finish at the sum of 22 plus 4 equals 26. For activity H, since activity H needs both activity E and F to be completed in order for activity H to start, and the earliest finish of activity E and F are 18 and 27 respectively, so the earliest time activity H can start will be 27 because it is the highest earliest finish and activity start. And for activity H, earliest finish will be the sum of 27 plus 3 equals 30. And for activity I, since activity I needs both activity G and H to be completed in order for activity I to be start, and the earliest finish of activity G and H are 26 and 30 respectively, so the earliest time activity I can start will be 30. And for activity I, earliest finish time will be the sum of 30 plus 7 equals 37. So that we may say that the project completion time will be 37 days. Now, we are done at forward pass, so we can now proceed at the backward pass. Since that we know that the project completion time is 37 days, then the latest finish time for the activity at the finish node activity I will be 37, because activity I cannot be completed in no longer than 37 days. And after that, we will determine the latest start time of the activity. And for us to determine the latest start time, we will be using this formula. Latest start equals latest finish minus time, or the duration of the activity. Now we will begin at the activity I. In order for us to determine the latest start of the activity I, we will subtract 37 minus 7, and that will be 30. Next, for activity H, since activity H has one successor and it is activity I and has a latest start 30, then the latest finish for activity H will be 30. And 30 minus 3 will be 27. And that's the latest start of the activity H. For activity G, since activity G has only one successor and it is activity I, and the latest start is 30, therefore the latest finish for activity G will be 30. And 30 minus 4 will be 26. And that's the latest start for activity G. For activity F, since activity F has one successor, it is activity H, and has a latest start of 27, therefore activity F latest finish will be 27. And 27 minus 9 equals 18. And that's the latest start of activity F. For activity E, since activity E has two successor, which is activity G and H, their latest start time are 26 and 27 respectively. As a result, the latest time for activity E will be 26. In other words, when doing the backward pass, the latest finish time of an activity must be the minimum. For the latest start of activity A will be 26 minus 3, which give 23. And for activity D has one successor, and it is activity G, and has a latest start time of 26. Therefore, the latest finish time for activity D will be 26. And 26 minus 7 equals 19. For activity C, since activity C has one successor and it is activity F and has a latest start time with 18, therefore activity C latest finish time will be 18, and 18 minus 13 will be 5. For activity B, since it has two successor, activity D and E, and have the latest start time 19 and 23 respectively, and since we need minimum, therefore it is 19, and the latest finish time for activity B will be 19, and 19 minus 10 is 9. That will be the latest start for activity B. And for activity A, since it has two successor, activity B and C, therefore we need also the minimum latest start time, and it will be 5. Therefore, the latest finish time of activity A will be 5. And for its latest start time, we will subtract 5 minus 5 and equals to 0.
We are done at the backward pass. Now, we can determine the slack for each activities. But first, what is the meaning of slack? Slack or an activity is defined as the amount of time an activity can be delayed without extending or increasing the project completion schedule. And it is the formula we will be using to determine the slack. Latest start minus earliest start or latest finish minus earliest finish. For activity A, it will be 0 minus 0 or 5 minus 5, and the slack for activity A will be 0. For activity B, the slack will be 4. Activity C, the slack will be 0. Activity D, the slack will be 4. Activity E, the slack will be 8. Activity F, slack will be 0. Activity G, slack will be 4. Activity H, slack will be 0. Activity I, slack will be 0. Remember, activity B, for example, can be start between day 5 and day 9, and it can be finished between day 15 and day 19. However, activity B can be delayed at 5 days, but still it can be completed at day 37. Activities A, C, F, H, and I, on the other hand, cannot be delayed at all without extending the project completion time. For example, activity H is delayed in 3 days. Then the project completion time will be extended to 3 days as well, from 37 to 40. Then the activity with zero slack are called critical activity. And they form the critical path, which the longest path in the network. So the critical path here are activities A, C, F, H, and I. That's how to construct a critical path method networking diagram.